Hello and good evening to this video tonight. This is a very special video because usually I don't just sit here and talk. This is rarely on the channel, but for a change I would like to discuss a topic that is on many people's mind. And next year we have the 50th anniversary of ABBA's very first international tour, live in Australia, in Europe and Australia, 1977. So today's topic simply is ABBA Live 77. Will there ever be an ABBA live album from the 1977 tour? And in this video I would like to discuss what is there in the archives, what has been released over the last 49 years, and it's not too complicated, to be honest. Carl Magnus Palm, in his terrific research, the complete recording sessions, listed every studio recording that ABBA ever did, and also all official, professionally recorded live shows. And in the case of 1977, every concert from Australia was recorded professionally on multi-track tapes, and we even have the whole concert in the archives from ABBA's concert at the Royal Albert Hall in London. So it begs the question, why has there never been an ABBA live album 77? A few years ago, the team from Universal and ABBA's release catalog discussed the opportunity, and they concluded that the material is not to their standard. We don't know any real more insight into that. So let's have a look what we did get over the years. Of course, in 1977 already, ABBA released their first and one and only feature film, which is ABBA the Movie, and this is the centerpiece of the Australian tour. Here we get concert performances, mostly in excerpts. Some of the songs are in full length. Actually only one song, which is Dancing Queen, to be perfectly honest. He Is Your Brother, for example, seems to be in full, but was also edited for the film. There is a one minute instrumental guitar solo on the original live recording, which didn't make it into the film. So, and I'm a Marionette is the full version, but I think those are the only songs, Dancing Queen and I'm a Marionette, which are in full in the film. What we also got is in the same year, and this is really the only live release dedicated to 1977, is the flexi-disc ABBA Live 77, which again has 5 tracks, but once again only in snippets. Those are Fernando, Rock Me, Why Did It Have to Be Me, Money Money Money, and Waterloo. And some of those excerpts, all of those songs are in the film, but the excerpts on this flexi disc are different excerpts than in the film. So basically, if you combine them, you get almost the full version of those songs. That's how it is. And in 1986, when there was virtually nothing really coming from ABBA, we got the first live album and the only live album for quite a few decades, and no one had ever dared to dream that we would ever get a full live album. So this is ABBA Live from 1986. It combines recordings from their tour from 77, 79 and 81, but at a closer look we actually only get one song from 1977, which is Fernando. And the CD version has 3 bonus tracks. And if you buy the CD, there is a second recording from 1977, which is Money Money Money. So altogether, there are only 2 live recordings from 77 here. Basically, those are the same recordings as on the flexi disc, but now in full. But there has never been a full live album from any of the concerts, or a combination of the best performances from several concerts from 1977, which would also be very intriguing if, let's say, one concert, complete concert, wouldn't be satisfying enough in terms of quality, maybe combine several concerts. When it comes to ABBA's 79 tour, we got the concert film ABBA in Concert. And finally, in 2014, actually the complete Wembley recording live at Wembley Arena, which was the very first time ever that ABBA released an entire live concert on record. So 77 has never happened. So why should there be a live album 77? What is so special? What is so important about those concerts? If we think about those concerts, there is a lot of emotions and feelings for many people who were there. The Australian people, also the people in Europe, but the Australian leg from 77 is very historic, of course, in ABBA's legacy. Those are even some of their favorite memories. I think Frida especially has repeatedly said over the years that the 77 concerts and the Australian ABBA-mania phenomenon has lasted in her mind. And Benny and Björn as well, Agneta as well, even though she also has some negative memories, of course, with the whole crowd of fans. But the concerts itself, themselves, and the atmosphere of the audience has been quoted by all four members as some of their most memorable memories from their years with ABBA. So I wonder why they wouldn't deservedly release an entire concert or an entire live album combining several concerts, but give us all tracks from the set list for an official live album. So you also have, next to the Wembley concert, the 79 tour, you also have a complete concert or a reconstructed concert from several concerts from 77, a complete live album from 77. I wonder why that hasn't happened so far. And with the 50th anniversary coming up, I don't get my hopes up, to be honest, to be perfectly honest. With all the releases we got from ABBA in the last few years, there is nothing that alludes to the possibility that there will ever be any more archival releases. Why they should release 77, in my opinion, is not only that emotional impact and the historic context in ABBA's history, or in ABBA's legacy. If you look at the 77 concert, we get many songs that are so intriguing, which they performed, but which we never got as live versions. So ABBA performed songs like That's Me, the opening Tiger, you have Sitting in the Palm Tree, Dum Dum Diddle, but also When I Kissed the Teacher, I've Been Waiting for You, and the whole mini musical, of course, The Girl with the Golden Hair, with 4 songs, including Get on the Carousel, which was the stage only number, never recorded in the studio. And the 77 concerts also have a song that was never released anywhere, which is called I Am an A, which is similar to the 79 track I'm Still Alive, a song that was performed in concert but never released, or never recorded in the studio and never released as a live version until, in the case of 79, until the Wembley album. And we also should not forget about the 77 concerts that the band was terrific once more. The live band on stage, the sound, and it's very different from 79. And both concerts and both sonic live qualities are exceptionally phenomenal. We shouldn't forget that ABBA always used musicians in their band in the studio, which were the finest musicians in Sweden, and they adopted that on stage as well. And one more thing about the 77 recordings, which also applies to 79 and 81, the Dick Cavett show, is the input of Michael B. Tretow. He was responsible for the sound. He was the sound engineer of those live recordings. So it is unfortunate that ABBA Live 77 simply remains in the archives in their entirety. So that's all we have. And I would like to know from you what you think about the situation. If you would like to have a ABBA Live 77 album, let me know in the comments below. And as I said, next year, 2027, is the 50th anniversary of ABBA in Australia, in Europe, Australia, 77. And many people who were young children and teenagers who have been to those concerts are old enough now to deserve, in my opinion, to deserve a live album from 1977. To get those memories back on record. And also take all the other people who were not at those concerts in 1977, those really special concerts with so many extremely special songs and historic recordings like I Am an A, like the mini musical, as I said. Get all those other fans that experience to listen to a live album, to a live concert album from 1977. Those who never experienced it. I think it is about time. This is not me saying this will happen. And as I said, this is not me saying I have hopes that it will happen, but I wanted to record this video, to talk about it, to put this out, and to see what you have to say about that. ABBA Live 77, will there ever be an ABBA Live album from 1977? Please let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time with another topic. Thank you for watching. Alright, until then, hej då!